guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video, and today we're going to take a look at this first form FRIEZA right here. This is the losing card for the upcoming Global vs. JP competition, right? Honestly, it seems like this FRIEZA and Bardock are quite a bit better than previous sort of reward cards for this. Like, I feel like they actually could be runnable, but both of the characters are, I think, heavily contested, sort of like named characters, right? Just base form Bardock and first form FRIEZA. I mean, hell, we literally just got the Easy 8 transforming FRIEZA. Now, the same name update is a thing that exists, sure, but you guys get what I'm saying with that, right? Like, it's not the biggest deal not to be able to get these characters. By the way, I do love, this is so good. There's Bardock up there, FRIEZA! I do like that right there. Now, one thing about Bardock versus FRIEZA, this FRIEZA is better against one enemy, whereas the Bardock is better against multiple enemies. I think that, like, it's definitely much more common. You're going to be fighting one enemy. But I would say this, I feel as though, like, a unit like this, FRIEZA, will probably be a bit more relevant in some of the difficult content than, like, a unit like the Bardock against multiple enemies. But I don't know. But I just find, typically, like, these Super Battle Road stages and stuff like that to be harder than, like, the Legendary Goku event type stages. So we've got FRIEZA here with Cooler. So we're going to have all of our major links. I mean, this is essentially all of his links active. The only link we do not have active here is Fear and Faith, which just gives ki and lowers enemy defense. So we basically have all of this shit active, right? Strongest clan in space, Universe is most malevolent, Metamorphosis, Thirst for Conquest, Big Bad Bosses. FRIEZA definitely has a far superior link set to Bardock, that's for damn sure. Let's see what damage we do here. We're getting a lot of support right here, right? The final form FRIEZA is supporting, Cooler is supporting. Alright, so FRIEZA gets up to a 2.11. Okay, again, very similar to what we see from the Bardock. Bardock was at very similar numbers. So FRIEZA gets 35% attack and defense on his super attack effect, 35% attack and defense start a turn, 35% attack and defense on attacking, 35% attack and defense against a superclass enemy, and then 35% attack and defense on super attack. So just a lot of buffs sort of coming in there. And then finally, 3 ki, 35% attack and defense, and a medium chance to crit against one enemy. You know, the thing about Bardock, actually, Bardock, because Bardock has additionals even against one enemy. I think I like the additionals better for this type of unit than I do the crits on FRIEZA, actually, because with Bardock and FRIEZA, they're both getting that 35% defense on their super attack effect. So, like, you know, Bardock could get that 3 times, right, just going up against one enemy, whereas for FRIEZA, he's only getting that 2 if you get your hidden potential system super. So that's interesting. Is Bardock actually better? Probably. Well, the only thing, I think FRIEZA defensively is better, because remember, 35% super attack effect, 35% attacking, 35% again against superclass enemy, which would be on attack, another 35% on super. Yeah, so FRIEZA is getting what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 35% defensive buffs on attack. So FRIEZA is like well over 200k defense right here. So it's actually not really that bad. Again, I'm actually fairly impressed with this FRIEZA and Bardock. You know, I always make the comparison, right, where many times I've done videos on some of these free-to-play units, and people are, you're too harsh, they're free-to-play. The infamous one to me was the Kid Vegeta unit, where it's like, you have to sacrifice dozens, hundreds of hours to grinding the World Tournament to get him. And people are like, oh, he's free-to-play, you can't expect that much, dude. Yeah, for Kid Vegeta World Tournament reward card, how many of you actually grind to where you get like 2 dupes on those World Tournament reward cards, right? Like, come on. It's not the same thing. But this FRIEZA, as the losing card for the competition, right? You actually are just going to log in one day and, you know, the FRIEZA with full dupes is going to be in your gift box. You don't have to grind them up or nothing. You're just going to get them, or you're going to get the Bardock, one of the two. Considering the amount of effort you have to put in to get Bardock and FRIEZA, which is literally nothing besides logging in, I would say they're actually pretty solid, right? You know, you guys know I sort of put like 2 million as sort of like a baseline for like, you know, sort of like average amounts of power, right? So like if we're able to take that 2 million right there, like sort of like power, but along with like 200k defense and stuff like that, it's like I'll definitely take it. I'm running FRIEZA in like sort of like slot 1 just to guarantee he gets the hits in for the showcase. But again, remember, you know, if we're rocking this FRIEZA in slot 2 or slot 3, on a lot of these rotations, with him getting 5 different 35% defensive buffs when he attacks, like, you know, this guy is going to be rocking over 200k defense for sure. Again, I'm not really sure how to calc it right in my head, where he gets 35% on, you know, super attack effect, on attacking against super class enemy, on super attack, and then fighting one enemy. It's a lot of like different defensive buffs that are sort of jumping in right there. So I don't know, right? Don't ask me, man. But regardless, I think, you know, probably somewhere above 200k defense is what we can expect, which that's actually a pretty good baseline for defense, so it's 200k. You know, we have some stages like, you know, the pure Saiyan extreme super battle rotation. How much will he take right here? Oh, damn, okay. I mean, this Super Saiyan 3 Goku's not the strongest enemy of all time, right? So you pretty much God Goku, I would say, actually kind of ramps up difficulty where he could be a little bit relative maybe to some enemies of today, at least on his super attack. But, you know, this Super Saiyan 3 Goku to be basically taking double digits from his super attack right there, I mean, that's fine. Again, this Frieza seems A-okay to me, right? Not like the craziest monster of all time, but actually like a potential runnable unit if he's rainbowed, if he's got full level 10 links. Like, see, that's the thing, right? Like, you want to keep this in mind as a free-to-play player, right? Like, this Frieza right here is better than half of the Dokkan Fest exclusives in the game, probably, right? Or more, right? You do want to understand that, right? Like, this Frieza is probably just way better than maybe, like, STR Rose Goku Black. It's probably just, like, way worse than this Frieza, probably, right? So, don't get caught up too much in summonable, like, oh, the mystique of it being a summonable unit or something like that. But the fact that this Frieza is able to put up, like, relatively solid stats as just a unit you get for logging in. And you look at what this Frieza is putting up where, you know, again, after super attack, he's 200k plus defense. He's staying in this 2 million range. And this is why I see Zarbon and Dodoria, and it's like, oh, they suck ass. Like, you know, like, they're horrible. And you know, I mean, I even saw Gresh tweeting about it today, like, agreeing with my point that, like, it's just stupid that they drop free-to-play units with immediate EZAs. There's no, like, just make the unit, just make the TUR that, so, like, Tien and Master Roshi is a good example. Like, their EZA made them amazing. They're super good. But, like, that's it. Like, they're done. Like, they're never getting an EZA in the future. In 2 years, that Tien and Master Roshi are not going to get a power buff to make them relative to that meta in 2 years, right? Like, they're done. And that's what's going to happen with Zarbon and Dodoria. That's what's going to happen with the Vegeta and Krillin unit. I think after their EZA, they will be good, but guess what? They should have just made them good right away and not have to worry about some, you know, EZA that might come. And there's other units like this, too, that's really stupid, by the way. Look at, like, the GT Great Ape Vegeta, or, like, that Golden Frieza and Sorbet card, where it's, like, or Veku. AGL Veku is another example. They're very clearly incomplete units, right? It's like, they're definitely designed with their future EZA in mind, but they didn't drop with that EZA. So instead, they're just dead units for months and months and months until they actually get their EZA, right? Again, Veku, the GT Great Ape Vegeta, the Golden Frieza and Sorbet, they all suck ass, and none of them, I would say, are relevant at all, right? The Golden Frieza and Sorbet, you know, if you're using a lot of items, if you're maybe like a free-to-play player, I do think you potentially could sort of get a little bit of like value with his stuns, right? If you're spamming a lot of items to give him extra defense, but a lot of those characters just aren't really like usable, right? Like, so I don't know. It's funny because you look at this Frieza, who, again, this Frieza and Bardock are better. Like, all those free-to-play units I listed, Veku, GT Vegeta, shit like that. Like, Frieza and Bardock are better than all of them, right? They're definitely just not, like, they're not slot 1 units, but you just rock them like this, and, like, Frieza's gonna be looking good. I mean, sure, this is with all of Frieza's links activated, but guess what? This is always a huge W for, like, Frieza and Cooler units, is that their link set is fucking ridiculous, right? And all these Friezas and Coolers share that, right? So it makes them good. So, I don't know. We'll let Frieza get this attack right here, and then we'll finish up, but honestly, the Bardock and Frieza, I'm impressed. Like, they're not throwaway units, right? Like, you know, Frieza will be much easier to find a spot for, I think, than Bardock. But, like, Bardock might be a little bit better with the ability to triple super even against one enemy. I don't know. Bardock's links will be a little bit tougher to activate, right? Because, you know, the numbers we're seeing from Frieza are very close to what we were seeing from Bardock. But in that Bardock video, I was using the LR INT, like, Team Bardock unit. That sucks. I probably wouldn't use them, right? Whereas, like, Cooler and Bojack and these characters, like, yeah, you're definitely going to run them. By the way, one other thing I do want to point out, this Frieza, I cannot explain it, is not on Sworn Enemy, right? So the third form Frieza unit does not buff this Frieza. I guess that little anime original, like, Bardock Saga, or whatever they want to call it, that, like, TV special, this Frieza is not, like, on the Sworn Enemy category because of that, I guess. I don't know. Seems like Sworn Enemy is basically just the mainline versions of these characters. It's just very bizarre. Doesn't really make a lot of sense because, like, Dragon Ball Super versions of Frieza are in there, right? Like, I don't really know what to say, right? So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of this Frieza, though. He definitely seems pretty solid. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.